On October 20th of 2022, we had a Resident Evil showcase. This mostly focused on an update for Resident Evil Village, but the most interesting part of the presentation was the segment focused on showing off gameplay for the Resident Evil 4 Remake. We had first gotten a look at Resident Evil 4 Remake on June 2nd of 2022, but this trailer didn't show much in terms of gameplay. All we got was a glimpse of the plot and the improved graphics. In this presentation, we got a simple, all-encompassing trailer, and then we got a completely gameplay-centric trailer. In the all-encompassing trailer, we got a glimpse of the improved graphics and a brief tease about the game's overall plot. In the gameplay trailer, we got a lot more to work with. We got introduced to a whole new element being added to Resident Evil 4, that being a trading system. We got a look at the new animations added to the game. Throughout all the versions of Resident Evil 4, the animations had always stayed the same, and were very clunky by today's standards. Everything from the walking animations to the combat animations were very stiff. From all the way back on the Nintendo GameCube and the PS2, all the way to the PS4 and Xbox One. These animations were relatively unchanged and were just very, very clunky. Now, with this new remake, the animations are very fluid. Combat has also been improved. The aiming for guns is much more refined, and we now have new hand-to-hand combat moves. And this game now looks fantastic graphically. The remake ditched the more washed-out color palette of the original Resident Evil 4. The color palette of the original game just had a lot of browns, and it made the game look kinda ugly. It just made the game look really bland. But with the remake, there's a little more color, and it looks a lot nicer. There's also an emphasis on making the game much more detailed. Instead of just using those old textures and upping the resolution, it looks like they just started from scratch, and I think it looks much better because of that. For years, they re-released this game, and all they did was upscale the old textures, and now it looks like they're finally doing away with that. Instead, it looks like they're just recreating the game and taking advantage of new hardware. You can see this most notably in the trailer with the village where you first meet the Chainsaw Man. So the game looks great. Speaking of the Chainsaw Man, the enemies look like they finally reached their full potential. They now look super detailed and super creepy. From what I can tell, the basics of the story haven't changed. It's still the same old story that we've known for years. Leon Kennedy tries to rescue Ashley from a cult while battling hordes of zombies and trying to return her to her father. But the smaller details of the story may be changed, because the development team probably wants to spice things up, because a lot of people are probably familiar with the story of Resident Evil 4. And this excites me, because we've gotten so many ports and remasters of Resident Evil 4, and it'd be nice to change up this game's story after telling it for so many years. All in all, the Resident Evil 4 remake could be a truly great remake. This game releases on March 24th of 2023 for the PS4, PS5, and PC, so in just a few months we'll see if that prediction's correct.